Previously on Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Hunter's written all over that page, kid.
Usurper! You forget. You are not the ruler of Limbo.
I'm kinda busy right now.
Cleaning your car?
It's gotta be done. If I don't, no one else will.
You were hiding out here from everyone. I know this must be about Blaze, his betrayal.
I don't really want to hear his name right now.
If there is something you need to get off your chest.
You mean like the parchment? No, it's in there pretty snug. I'm doing great otherwise. It's not like any major life role models attempted to sell us out to Mephisto recently.
Robbie,
Thanks for checking on me, Hunter. Later.
The Parchment of Power is here, within the walls of the Abbey.
I assume you overheard Robbie or someone talking about it.
No, I could feel its power the moment it arrived. It was a numbing dread, the likes of which I have never experienced before. I worry for Robbie.
Do you not think he can handle it?
Sarah and Strange probably won't bring this up around him, but that parchment is not just random Latin phrases. It contains the words of Chthon himself. They are as dangerous as nuclear weapons.
I've already heard those words spoken aloud. Blaze read from the page, and I saw what it could do. The power it unleashed.
The hellfire and destruction is only the beginning, I'm afraid.
The page will not be with Robbie long. If Stark's plan succeeds, we will be rid of Chthon's only toehold in our world.
Perhaps. The parchment is just one page of many, all carrying Chthon's vile message. Those pages were scattered across the globe. The hope was that they would remain hidden forever. Yet man, in his infinite wisdom, decided to collect them and bind them into the Darkhold.
And now Robbie has the final page.
I pray he is strong enough to carry it.
Look at me. You've gone through so much, and here I am getting comfort from you like a selfish jerk. Almost as bad as an Avenger.
You're not that bad, Ilyana, I promise.
Liar. I might as well put on a cape and start calling myself Doctor.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You saw your tormentor today. That couldn't have been easy.
It's good to have you back, sister.
It's good to be back, sister. We'll finish this conversation later. Looks like someone wants to talk to you. She's all yours.
Mephisto was behind the Solus? Why did you not tell me, Ilyana?
Because I didn't know for sure. It was not easy to face him, you know. But the support of my friends, like you, gave me the strength to do it. In a way, I owe him everything, even though he took everything from me. He made me Darkchild, gave me the gift of ruling Limbo. And today, I booted him from it. And it wasn't the first time.
I would like to hear about the first time you expelled him from Limbo.
He did it to himself, really. Mephisto made the mistake of putting me in a position where I had to kill my only friends in order to prevent him from summoning the Elder Gods. I could not take it anymore, and found a way to teleport back to my parents. But it had been so many years that they didn't recognize me. In fact, they were terrified of me and called the police. So, I went back to Limbo, and used my own pain to form the Soul Sword. I used it to drive back Mephisto and take the throne. He was not expecting that. That's enough about him for today. We must look forward to the challenges that lay ahead.
Sleep well tonight, Ileana. You deserve it.
Good night, Hunter.
I knew you'd recover the shards if you put your mind to it, but that was still faster than I expected. I'd better get to work then. I'm confident I can return the Moon Seal to its former glory, but I'll have to send you on another errand. I need a particular flower to serve as the reagent for this ritual. It shouldn't be too hard to find. It grows right in front of my old cabin. While you gather that, I'll make the rest of the preparations.
This must be the reagent that Agatha needs to restore the seal. I have found the reagent.
So you have. Let's not waste any more time. For this to work, we'll need the elemental altar. Come with me. This is it, Hunter. Once I've reforged the seal, you can face the final trial. I'm sure Set is eagerly awaiting your arrival.
It has been a long road to reach this point.
Lucky for you, the ritual won't take more than a moment. I just need to say the magic words. Abracadabra. Just kidding, dear.
I'm glad to know your situation did nothing to dampen your sense of humor.
Sarah is salty enough for the both of us. I like to keep things in balance. Now, let's get you a moon seal. I just hope Set doesn't mind a bit of refurbishment.
I will find out soon enough.
Just remember, Hunter, the answers we seek are almost within your grasp. Stay the course.
This looks like a...
Break the wall, Hunter. I will be right here. After.
Set revels in his blessing. Sarah?
Of all the things you weren't expecting, finding me here had to be near the top of the list.
Have you been following me?
On the contrary, kiddo. I think it's you that's been following in my footsteps. Speaking of which, have you been enjoying the trials? I'm not sure how you found your way down that path, but you've obviously impressed the gods, just like your mother and I did.
You are being much calmer than I expected about all this.
You aren't the first member of your family to sneak away and attempt the trials. I remember raising more than a few eyebrows on my run.
This from the favored daughter of Oshter?
I always respected Oshter, especially compared to some of her siblings.
And my mother?
I think she saw something of herself in Autumn, but she was never one to flatter the gods.
She seems to have no issue kneeling to Chthon.
Is that really what you believe, Hunter?
I cannot say.
At least you've kept an open mind. I'm not sure I would have.
I have tried to remain neutral until I know more.
If you've come this far, then there's really no point in hiding it anymore.
This place, sealed and hidden away beneath my mother's garden. This was you again. Something else you wanted to lock away.
Would you believe it's because I've been a stubborn old woman for far too many centuries?
Yes.
This may be difficult to understand given what you've been told, how you were raised. But your mother isn't the bastion of evil the world knows her to be.
Yes, I know she was not the mother of demons when she was with my father.
There's more to it than that. I told you of her work to find a cure for his illness. There was nothing she could do, and when he passed, she accepted his fate. But then, the corruption came for you.
I was sick? I do not remember that at all.
I'm not surprised, given the cure. You were so young, so vulnerable. Lilith was inconsolable. If she had been desperate to heal your father, she was now completely unhinged when it came to curing you.
But she did find a way.
We had thought to bury it in this place forever, safe from not just the greedy eyes of petty men like Shaw, but from ourselves.
The Darkhold.
Yes, and sensing your mother's desperation, the damn thing called out to her. There within its pages, Lilith found a way to protect her child. Straight from the Great Shadow himself, Chthon. And as payment, she pledged her eternal devotion to him. Reborn as the mother of demons.
She gave herself to Chthon. For me.
You were her only child, and she loved you more than anything else in this world. In her mind, it was no sacrifice at all. You were all that mattered.
And you still let me believe she was a monster.
For your protection, I only let you see her as she is now.
But what she became...
What she became, I barely recognized. She may have been your mother, but there was no way she could be your mother ever again.
And so you cast her out?
She was weakened from the transition. Some part of her soul still struggling with the corruption infecting her, I suppose. I knew I would only have the moment, and so I struck, drove her from the Abbey, from you. It was the only way I could protect you. In my mind and in my heart, I believed that the Lilith I knew would have done the same.
But then she came back.
Yes, it took her years, but she finally returned. Of course, by then, she had become something far different. The rest, as you know, is history. Until now. I thought by sealing this place, by avoiding the truth, that it would somehow make all of this easier. But I also knew someday we would have this conversation.
I need time to think about all of this.
I know it's a lot to consider. I don't expect you to take everything I've said at face value.
Thank you for finally sharing the truth, Sarah.
Thank you for listening, kiddo.
I hadn't intended on eavesdropping, dear, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with Sarah.
Did you know about my mother?
Sarah was never any more forthcoming about Lilith with me than she has been with you. She must have felt it was safer to keep both of us in the dark.
It is hard to know what to think now.
After so many years and so many conflicting stories, you have every right to be unsure.
And to say nothing of what this did to you?
It may sound ridiculous, but if someone had to end up this way, I'm glad it was me. Can you imagine what a nightmare Sarah would be as a poltergeist?
That is true. We may have had another terror stalking the grounds had things gone differently.
And despite everything, I have to say, I'm glad we were able to spend this bit of extra time together, Hunter.
I enjoyed it too, Agatha.
I'm glad, dear. But there are still more secrets to discover, if you're interested.
More still? How will I know where to find them?
Oh, I'd say some combination of dumb luck and persistence. But in all seriousness, with Set's blessing, you'll be able to break down all sorts of things, I imagine. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Just have fun, dear.
Stop being so defensive and listen to us, Robbie.
We're just worried about you, that's all.
No need to be worried. I got this.
I don't think you fully understand what you're carrying. The parchment packs a lot of evil.
And what? You don't think I can handle it? I'll have you know that you aren't the only one who has a corner on controlling darkness. Just ask Sparky.
We're just concerned.
Concerned? You're starting to sound an awful lot like Caretaker, Nico.
Since when did you become such a jerk?
Since he started carrying that damn page, that's
Why don't you worry about yourself, Blade?
Whatever you say, Robbie. Why don't you go find Peter?
Well, maybe I will. I'm out.
Well, we tried.
The parchment of power is no joke. Then again, neither is Robbie. Let's just hope he's right and he can handle it.
Yeah, let's hope.
Something about Jeremiah Kane's statue drew me. Guess it's that old Spirit of Vengeance connection, huh?
Like you, Kane carried more burdens than any one man should.
Yeah, so he knew how the big honor could also become a curse.
Do you feel like you have been cursed?
Absolutely. I mean, it's awesome to be one of the Midnight Suns and have the incredible responsibility of carrying the Parchment of Power. But it also really sucks.
No one ever said our tasks would be easy, especially now.
I get it. It would just be nice if the price of failure wasn't, you know, the end of the world.
Blaze's betrayal probably soured your outlook.
About that. I keep thinking about what happened back in Limbo. Right before all the fighting broke out, when Blaze told me you were the key to the parchment, the prophecy, all of it. And that if we took you out, the world might survive.
Robbie.
I know what you're gonna say. Don't trust Blaze. I get it. Which is why I'm thinking I should read this parchment for myself and find out exactly what caused him to get so worked up about you.
I've no doubt the parchment talks all about me. But if you choose to read it, do not tell me what it says.
Oh, yeah? Because it would be too painful to hear?
Because it is irrelevant. I cannot have it causing me to second-guess everything about myself.
Second-guessing yourself, huh? I know all about that. Fine, forget it. I'm not gonna read the page. Happy now?
I am relieved, yes. But what are you going to do instead?
I'm gonna do what I normally do. Sit and worry. And hope Stark hurries up with whatever he's building in the forge.
That may take a while.
I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear you say that.
Just tell me.
I already told you.
That was just a bunch of hocus-pocus mumbo-jumbo. Authored by the hand of a corrupted elder god, vile, unspeakable evil power contained within its pages. I get it. The Darkhold is bad. But I'm a scientist. I need facts, examples, highlights, lowlights.
Are you really asking me for a book report on the Darkhold?
I mean, I could just blast the page to smithereens without knowing the context, but understanding it is so much more interesting.
Context or no context, I'm still skeptical that your plan will actually work.
Well, okay, then share your deep insights with me, Dr. Spooky. Come on, spill the beans.
I have no beans to spill, Tony. I think I need some fresh air.
I guess you're wondering why Strange and I were getting into it?
I saw enough.
He gets so huffy and precious when it comes to his magic stuff. Everything has to be shrouded in mystery, like he's on stage in Vegas or something. I think he's afraid I'm going to turn around and become an even greater sorcerer than he is.
I thought you were trying harder to understand Strange and his magic.
I am. That's why I was asking him all those questions about the Darkhold.
So, why the antagonism?
Because I don't understand it yet, and that bothers me.
Do you believe you can understand it?
Maybe. I'll get it eventually. I always do. It's just... he's really good at it.
Surely there is a way for you both to work together in harmony.
Oh, you'll never catch us in the same barbershop quartet. But, given enough time, I'm sure I can reverse engineer an Elder God's programming language. Sure, you may not be able to understand what I'm saying, but that's not my problem.
So you think the Darkhold is no different from some fabulous bit of technology?
Oh, absolutely. And like any other fabulous bit of technology, it's only a matter of time before I figure out how to do what I want to do with it. Every problem has a solution, my resurrected friend. And I'm going to find it.
It will be a challenge, but I know you can handle it.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice. Actually, you can tell me several times. I'm such a shameless sucker for praise.
And what about Strange? Are you going to let him sulk?
Oh, I'll find Dr. Spooky later, and explain my position clearly. Make sure he understands.
It might help if you stop calling him Dr. Spooky.
Yeah, you're right. I should use his name. Stephen Spooky.
I give up.
Well, don't give up yet. You need to get the research going on the Gamma Accelerator. I've got the pieces and Dad's research, and I'm ready to go.
I came out here to cool down. Carol kindly suggested I work out my frustrations on the punching bag. Her suggestion was wise.
I am afraid I know the source of your frustrations.
If you think this source has got salon-sculpted facial hair and an ego the size of Montana, then you are correct.
Surely you understand this is how Stark is with everyone else, do you not?
I understand it, intellectually. Yet the outrage still burns in my heart.
Fair. Just do us all a favor and try not to break his jaw, all right? We need him in one piece.
The problem with Tony is that he's too cavalier. I suppose that attitude has contributed to his success, but he can't do it with the arcane. It's a completely different realm. One that will deal him a brutal defeat if he doesn't change his ways.
You do not think he can destroy the Parchment of Power?
I don't think he understands just what the page represents. His whole life has been ones and zeros. The forces that shaped the Darkhold were powerful long before numbers or technology. They exist outside of the theory of relativity or quantum mechanics. They are elemental and esoteric as the rules of the dream space.
I hope the two of you can reach an understanding.
If he wants to work things out, he knows where to find me. Hopefully, my aggressions will have been worked out by then.
About the emo kids meeting, there's a problem. Wanda asked to run the show. Everyone was fine with it, until caretakers showed up.
Sarah taking control? How surprising.
I don't blame her. Wanda's magic killed Agatha. It's hard to let that go.
Why are we meeting? I thought we already knew how I died.
Wanda doesn't think we do, and I believe her. So, you ready to head to the meeting and hear her out?
Lead the way.
This was a mistake. I shouldn't have brought it up.
I disagree. Your theory is sound. We must know the truth.
Wanda already took Agatha from me. I'll be damned if I let her take my child.
The one standing behind you?
Ah, damn it. I didn't mean for you to hear that.
Too late. Explain what this is about.
Wanda says there's more to your death than what we saw. She claims she can reveal the true manner of your death.
I cannot hurt to try her suggestion.
It absolutely can. Her magic is chaotic. She could lose control and kill everyone.
Good thing you were here to help her.
Help her? After what she did?
Who better than you?
All right. Listen to her if you must. But if you proceed with the ritual, I can't lose you, Hunter. Not again.
I didn't mean for this to happen. I just wanted to help.
How?
I spoke with Dr. Strange about your visions. That got me thinking. The last meeting, specifically the moment of your death, I don't think that's where your life ended.
The last time we did this, something felt off.
Good, you felt it too. There is a subtle magic at play. It clouds your perception, distracts from what is real.
Why are you so certain?
I felt it twice before. Most recently, when I was under Lilith's influence.
And the first time?
When I killed Agatha. I had no warning I'd lost control until it was over. Something masked the danger from me, from her.
It was not your fault.
No matter what Ileana wants to believe, I am responsible for Agatha's death. I can never make it up to the Midnight Suns, to Sarah, to you. But I will do everything I can to make things right. My magic works by creating what I most desire. It can also strip what is illusion from what is real. You deserve to know what truly happened. Please, allow me to help you.
I am ready.
All right. What is your last memory before your death?
Lilith trapped me with the Darkhold. I could not move.
Then I shall remove the veil. And now, your death revealed. What do you see?
Lilith approaches. I have never seen her so determined.
And now, child, you shall be free.
Still creepy.
Indeed.
I cannot move. Yet I hear myself shout.
What the?
My body lurches toward her. None of it my doing. Lilith struggles against her own limbs, but cannot control them. My hand reaches for the Darkhold. I see fear blossom in my mother's eyes. I touch the Darkhold.
No! Stay back!
Pain washes over us both. The world flares white. And then, there is nothing.
Okay, what is with that voice?
And who directed the hunter's movements?
Someone who could hold Lilith in place.
That's alarming.
I'm sorry. There's nothing more. That's when the hunter died.
Don't apologize. You showed us what we could not see.
Another mystery resolved. No more reason to assemble the emo kids.
You sound disappointed.
I am, somewhat. This kept me distracted from the state of the Sanctum Sanctorum. Reminded me I could still be useful. Perhaps that is the lesson.
Are you all right? How do you feel?
Physically, I am fine.
Good. How about what you saw?
Lilith is the mother of demons. Why was she trying to free me? What does that even mean?
You were her firstborn. Some mothers would tear down the world to protect their children, perhaps even yours. What we saw tonight did happen. You both died with your hands on the Darkhold.
What does that tell us?
I'm not sure yet. Perhaps it will give us an edge in our fight, or insight into something we've missed.
More unanswered questions.
That's not it. We have all the answers to your death. What we're missing are the questions that match. Thank you for trusting me to do this.
Of course.
It means more than you know.
What we just saw, it's difficult to comprehend. I know I have questions. But what about you?
No one else was present when I faced Lilith. Whose voice did we hear?
No one I recognize. If Lilith had just recovered the Darkhold, she may have used it to summon a dark spirit.
If she did, it seems like she lost control.
Perhaps. I pray it was just that.
Could it have been Chthon?
Speaking through the Darkhold? Perhaps. But why draw you towards the book? What was there to gain?
I'm still unclear on how I actually died.
The magic of the blood courses through you and your mother when you both touched the dark hold.
Mystical feedback?
That's my theory. It's a dangerous book. Perhaps more so than we thought.
I should get going.
Very well. Good night, kiddo.
Yes?
I'm proud of you for pushing through all this.
Thanks.
Well, good night.
You see? Now you know.
What we know is disturbing.
Truth is often disturbing. We both learned that lesson years ago.
I don't know what to think. Was someone else there, and did they kill Lilith?
Those are difficult questions to answer.
At least we know to ask them. Hey, we'll get to the bottom of this. We're emo kids. We can do anything. That's all we had. You taking off?
That is it for me.
The last meeting of emo kids. Should we get another t-shirt? I kinda want another t-shirt. Or, ooh, maybe a pin. I'll figure it out. Thanks for letting us root around in your past, Hunter.
Acunus ad sepulchrum, nam hoc in hora, tutela contra inferna vocat, paper potestatum, offerte molem omni noxa, iram et tristis, Kipsico.
Agatha, what are you doing?
Casting a protection spell over the Abbey. Now that we are in possession of the Parchment of Power, we must be vigilant in guarding against its influences.
What can I do to help?
You can't. This is a very rare form of sorcery, practiced only by those who have passed from this realm. But you can watch over the others. This spell will only prevent the worst type of harm the parchment can inflict, but can't stop it from making mischief completely.
Mischief? What sort of mischief?
There's no way of knowing for sure. But if there's one thing I am sure of, it's this. The words etched onto the page were written by Chthon himself. Not even my magic can silence them. They will affect us, if only in whispers. I mean, they're probably affecting us right here, right now, and won't stop. Not until Stark finally manages to nuke it from space.
Then there is hope.
There sure is. But until that happens, we need to protect ourselves. Speaking of, I should really finish this incantation. The spell cannot be completed without it.
I will leave you to it then.
Sleep well, Hunter. If you can.
Are you finally beginning to understand now? Family protects one another. Family loves one another. Family would do anything to save one another. Is that not what these heroes of yours preach? Then why abandon you at the doorstep of that wretched pretender Mephisto, my precious child?
My family saved me. It was the coward Blaze that sold me out.
Perhaps. Still, Blaze is no coward. And he is most certainly not a friend to Mephisto. For him to have made such a deal, all the more reason I must have the page.
I knew you were going to go there.
Hear me, child. Say what you will about Johnny Blaze, but his soul is one of the strongest I have ever encountered. He has carried the parchment for decades without succumbing to its call, battled angels and demons alike, and rattled the thrones of far too many gods.
It almost seems like you admire him.
I simply state the facts. Now he is free of the page, and another takes on the mantle of its guardian.
Robbie.
Do you really think he will prevail over the parchment of power?
You were right, Mother.
I am?
Robbie will never be Johnny Blaze. He will become something far greater. I gladly place my fate and that of the world in his hands.
My original offer still stands. If you truly value your friend, relieve him of his burden and surrender the parchment to me. Ignore my warning, and Blaze's betrayal will be a fond memory compared to what is coming next.
No, that can't be. I had that dream too.
Maybe it was something we ate.
Don't you mean someone?
I don't know. This stinks of a hex or a curse or something.
If we all had the same nightmare, does that mean we all share the same subconscious neurosis?
God, I hope not.
The probability of every single one of us walking the same dream state is 1 billion trillion to 1. It must mean something.
Yeah, it means we might want to have a little chat with our friendly neighborhood hunter.
Oh, I knew I should have let Mr. Murdoch copyright that for me.
I still can't get that image out of my mind.
Same here, and that's saying a lot these days.
I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this all.
There is... the parchment.
I knew that page would find a way of messing with our heads.
Or maybe it was warning us about you-know-who.
Did you have the dream?
What dream?
I'm here if you want to talk about it.
I'm assuming you had the same dream last night as the rest of us.
I'm pretty sure I did not. What was it?
I'll let Wanda tell you. She's better at communicating those kinds of things. All I can say is, what I saw last night made me worry about you.
I appreciate the concern, Robbie, but I'm alright. Whatever happened was just a dream.
Yeah, you seem alright standing here in the light of day. But that dream last night? Feels like too much of a coincidence that every single person in this abbey shared it.
I wish I could explain it.
Maybe it is the page, messing with us, trying to make us suspicious of each other.
It is possible. The full effects of the Parchment of Power have gone largely unstudied.
And they will remain unstudied. Honestly, I can't wait for it to be destroyed.
So, you were not going to read it?
Hell no. And not just because I suspect it's giving me bad dreams. Because I know whatever Blaze read set him off so hard that he betrayed us.
Are you afraid of reading the page because you think you would betray us, Robbie?
Kinda. Yeah.
I do not think you ever could. You are made of stronger stuff than Blaze.
Thanks, Hunter. It makes me feel better. But I'm still not chancing it. I think Wanda wants to talk to you. I should stop monopolizing your time and let her get a word in. Oh, and Hunter?
Yes, Robbie?
Take care of yourself, okay? Like, really take care.
I always do. What is everyone so upset about?
A nightmare. We all had the same one last night, and it has unnerved us. Wondering if you had the same one too. Would be weird if you were the only one in the Abbey who didn't.
You mean the one about Lilith?
Wait, you had a dream about Lilith?
Is that not the one you all had?
No, Hunter. We had a dream about you. And it was a pretty awful one, too.
What? What about me?
Let's just say you... something threw you above us. Your face twisted in what could only be described as extreme agony. And that's as far as I want to remember. I don't want to freak you out. I mean, it was just a dream, right?
We both know nothing is just a dream, especially these days.
Let's hope this one was. We should probably stop talking now. Everyone is staring.
They are staring?
Yep.
They really are frightened, are they not?
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, everyone here is just as afraid of me as they are of you.
Seems like everyone had a restless night. I hate to ask this, but are you all right?
Why? Do I look like there is something wrong with me?
No, not at this moment, but the dream, I mean, nightmare we all had of you.
The one everyone had, but no one will tell me about?
Let's just say you should be grateful to have your collar to protect you.
Protect me from what, exactly?
Your mother, Hunter. Who else? If it wasn't for that collar, who knows how she might be able to manipulate you? I wouldn't put it past her to invade your dreams, the way I think she just invaded ours last night.
Do you really think she can manipulate us through our dreams? Even in this protected pocket dimension?
Anything is possible. In any case, best to keep our wits about us. I just don't want anything to happen to you, kiddo.
In the next episode.
Stark! Power up that damn ray gun! What?
Stark! Multiple targets closing on your position!
Nice! I'm not sure how much longer we can keep this up.
I get the feeling that all of book club is just his roundabout way of getting to be friends with me.